uchyate. We have not to become a singer, but we should know the essence of this mantra. The infinite, that is infinite, which is not seen, which is not experienced, which I do not know yet. So everything that is experienced, known, is also infinite. Why? It has come from the infinite. It has come from the same all pervading infinity. That needs to be, listening and learning is one thing. We listen and learn. Very important. Do we really understand it? My ears are open. We are attending this session. So, two things. You see, that is why listening and learning, contemplation and reflection is another. So, you see that I know you all are more intelligent and wiser than me. I was crazy and still I am crazy. Ashok knows, Samir knows. I do not know anything except the moment the knowledge that I learned from my master, it strikes the mind, it changes the entire perception. It lives all the time, mostly. Sometimes miss, yes, I would say I miss. Let me agree, let me accept this. But it does not take time to return to that state. You are more intelligent than me, you are wiser. Is it possible that this knowledge, this understanding lives with you? Or even if you miss, it returns to the same state again. I'm making it very simple today. We are trying to understand the four more verses that says, I am absolute existence, consciousness, and bliss. That is what. So, in the first line of the mantra, the infinite precedes that is infinite, which is not seen and experienced at present. Okay. But everything that proceeds from the infinite is also infinite. Water, waves. One example. Second line says Purna, Purnat Purnamad Uchyate. That infinite proceeds from the infinite. Yes. First line says that is infinite, so this is also. What is this? This means all, everything. I experience everything in the world, see, as limited. How do you say I'm limited? That is what I experience is limited. You are there, I am here. Limitation. Limitation in shape, limitation in space, limitation in time. So I have to break this wrong notion. So taking the infinite from the infinite, so it means taking the infinite from that to the infinite. The last line, what is the last line? Is it remains the infinite alone. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So I'm using this mantra to point out that we are existence, consciousness, and bliss. We are the real self. I'll just use it in a simple, most simple way. But I told you, Listening and learning is one thing, understanding is the other. Attending the session is one thing, but understanding is one thing. Are you learning anything new? Answer is no. You're not learning anything new. I'm teaching something new? Answer is no. Teaching the same age old principles of Eastern wisdom, which helps us to understand. Understanding means that now I have an experience of the real self at this moment. I bet you at this very moment you recognize, you simply recognize and understand there is a real self. Your anxiety dissolves, your stress dissolves, your duality and a conflict stops. You had a fight yesterday with the honey, and today you are listening, learning, understanding. That impressions of that fight and reaction dissolves completely. It melts away. How it melts away. Simple example: earring, nose ring, necklace. I see them separately. Can you see them that all are made up of the gold? You will see me and honey are made up of the same substance. Where is the fight? Where is the reaction? I'm just making it very simple. It seems to be very easy. We have been understanding the waking, dream, and the sleep states. There is one thing that is present all the time, that is eternal, that is not influenced, that is not seen, that is not experienced. We want to experience that. I experience the waking state, I experience the dream state, I experience the sleep state. Everyone. But why is that which is real, which is not seen? And that is why the entire Eastern wisdom focus on that, to bring that unseen, uncreated, eternal, all pervading in our daily life. I told you that I have been very crazy, deeply frustrated in the life with average intelligence. You can say common layman. They all know, Samir knows and Ashok knows. If I can understand and touch that real self, why can't you? All of you are more intelligent, successful in the material world, have been living life with the wisdom. Why can't you? Why can't you? So when this crazy mind remembers the teacher and the wisdom that is passed on to me from those great teachings, I feel very proud. You can say that I feel a sense of egoistic also, but in a very positive way. So that is why I see that how can I inspire and motivate you all to live into that state? Why can't you? Only thing is required is the commitment. Do you really want to know the real self? Do you really want to know you are real, moving from the false to the real? Asato ma satanam. You look at those mantras. So I recognize the false and I'm committed to find the real self. Ignorance to wisdom, moving from, do I commit myself to move from the ignorance to wisdom? Yesterday this young guy was telling me, he pushed me to have a session. Jerry knows, tall fellow. I am very focused in my business, what he told me. I am very focused taking care of my family, my parents. I am very focused on taking care of the dog. But what you tell me, I am distracted. I am not able to do the practice in the morning. See that? So, do you have that sense of commitment? Do you really want to know the real self? And if you have that understanding, that is the meaning of living in mindfulness. Now, I'm giving you a couple of metaphors and examples to make you understand clearly. The childhood has, we were born, childhood has come, childhood has gone. In childhood, we are not too much concerned about family, parents, wealth, even who am I. In youth, we are full of energy, rebellion in the mind. I was very great rebellion to my parents. That much is sufficient. To just to know what is all this. In youth, we are all intoxicated by the sensuality. Everyone. You don't avoid it. Youth has come and gone. I'm using the metaphor. I just created this metaphor. But the old age has come, it never seems to go. Why I say so? Old age comes, old age ends with the death. Childhood has come, gone, youth has come and gone. The old age has come, it does not seem to go. A lot of challenges, a lot of illnesses, a lot of limitations. It ends with the death. It happens to everyone. Those who are more attached, they are more suffering. And those who are not attached, they continue to live into the same state. Do you see? Do you see that metaphor? Old age comes, it never seems to go. Do you know why and how? The old age, before the old age goes, the death comes. So I cannot see whether the old age has gone. Do you see? That is why we have more fears of the death, disease. Why? Because we are attached. We had more energy when we were young. So even, oh, blood is coming, I fell down, it's okay. But now, so if we know the real self, we feel younger than the young. We always feel younger than the old age. We feel the childlike state in ourselves. So now see, do I want to know that what exactly is the real self? One thing to understand clearly. Whatever I have experienced, whatever I know, whatever I have seen, perceived, does not fall into the real self. It is created. Tell me anything in the world that you have experienced, that you have seen, that you have known, is all pervading, is eternal, is unchanging. Childhood, birth, youth, old age, waking, sleep, and dream. So there is a catch here. One day we are sleeping and we never wake up. That is the eternal sleep. It is going to happen to everyone. I'm not scaring you, but that is what the fact is, what is the truth is. So we merge into that infinite, but without knowing our real nature. That is the sad part, isn't it? That is the very sad part. Birth, childhood, youth, old age, and then the old age doesn't seem to go. And the death comes, we enter into that eternal sleep, and we lost the opportunity to know and understand that I am the real self. I am eternal, I am all pervading, because I die with the limited shape, this body, limited time, 80, 60, 70 years, or whatever it is, with lot of hangovers, with the disease, anxiety, duality, and a conflict. We are moving slowly to understand where is this real self. With that understanding, keep in mind the word, what is this word, means that is seen after creation, and one day it is finished or dies in creation. Waking state dies in sleep, sleep dies in dream, dream dies in wake up. That is what is happening all the time, every day, every week. But that one which is uncreated, I don't know. Clear? Let us start with where we are. So that is uncreated, or you can ask the question, is there anything that is uncreated? Let us ask this question. So our intellect says there must be something uncreated on which everything is created. Logical, logical. But then there are two options. Do you see the teachings of our masters? Such a beautiful teaching. What are the two options? So there are two options, either what is uncreated, if it is the real, but then there is a mixture. What is untruth is also not seen. One is two options. Did you get it? I'm just making it simple because then we will go to all the four verses, because after that the real journey begins. So, what I said, is there anything uncreated? But if I say yes, I don't see to it how to find it. But then there comes a doubt, because what is untruth is also not seen. Elephant flying in the sky, untruth. Huh? Crocodile moving into the space, untruth. That is also not seen. So it means two possibilities. One is the untruth, other is the absolute truth. Okay, then what is this? What I see, what I have experienced until now, it is comes under false. It is neither the truth, it is nor the untruth. Why it is neither the untruth? Because I see it, I experience it. I experience you, I experience my body, mind, intellect, ego, waking, sleep, frustration, anger, hesitation, pleasure. Oh, so I cannot say it is untruth because I experience, I know it. Is it absolute truth? Answer is no. Why? It is constantly changing. I gave an example of the old days. So the Eastern wisdom, our master says, understand real, unreal, and in between there is a false. So I live in the false world, and that is why we say, Buddha says, the world is suffering. That is his first message. The entire means that what I experience, what is seen, what I perceive, why it is false, it is in between the untruth and the absolute. It cannot be the absolute truth. I cannot maintain this body forever at this stage. Clear. I cannot remain awake 24 by 7. I cannot live into the state of the well-being all the time. My mind cannot live into the state of the peace all the time. So this is my experience. I cannot say it is untruth because I see it exist. But at the same time, it does not exist forever. So it cannot be the absolute truth. That is why it is false. Get it? Let us move further. What to do? What to do now? But the real is present in the world. But it is not the world. It is hidden in the world. What to do? Remember. Buddha said self-remembering is meditation, mindfulness. I told you before also. The seventh of the eightfold path, in the first six paths, he is talking directly or indirectly what I am talking today. In the seventh path, he uses the word samyak smriti. So Master says, now you have to get the knowledge, you have to remember, you have to say to yourself that I am the real self. That is the first step. If I don't say to myself that I am the real self, my mind cannot treat that path. I have to put into the GPS of my life that I am the real self. What I do after this session, I have lot of problems. I have to deal with my honey, I have to deal with my body. Forget. That is why the Buddha says self-remembering. Untruth cannot be seen because it does not exist. The truth is not seen or experienced also, but it is hidden behind the seen. It is hidden behind the false. What is false? The word of name and the form, time and the space. It is hidden, it appears, it is hidden. Why I say? Because I live in ignorance. One example, nose pin made up of gold, earring made up of gold, necklace made up of the gold is hidden. My focus is on the limited nature of the name in the form, limited nature of this body. Do you see that? Limited nature of this body. No, oh, you have a beautiful earring, you have a beautiful necklace, but I feel all are made up of the gold. So gold seems to be hidden behind it. No, I see you through your eyes. Come on, consciousness is hidden behind it. Can you see me without consciousness? It is here and now. I have to find that. Can I have knowledge without the consciousness? Can I communicate without consciousness? Can you listen without consciousness? It is hidden behind. But what you say, I'm paying attention, I'm listening to you. Do you see that? It is here and now. So we have to use some language. So we say it is hidden. Gold is hidden behind the name and the form. Name in the form Girish, name in the form Dennis, name in the form David. It is hidden behind. But hidden behind does not mean that I cannot become aware. Yes, I can become aware of that. The way I become aware of the gold in all the jewelries, I become aware of the water in all the waves, I become aware of the space in all the homes. It's a fact, it's a truth. We know everything. Now let us move further. So the false is in between the real and the unreal. So I have not to touch the unreal, I have to drop the false. What is left is the absolute consciousness. Clear? Yes, if you are clear. So I'm using couple of metaphors and examples. I have to, what I told you, I have to remember that I am the real self, then only the journey will start. You remember that I have to earn $1 million, and then you make a project and then you go for it, isn't it? How many times I remember? I told you before. So we know everything and anything by what I say, by me. What is this me? I am. Now coming to we are searching that absolute reality. When I know a thing, I claim that there comes the problem. I'm repeating again. When we know a thing, we claim that thing is me. I know you, my mind goes to the eyes, I see you, so my eyes is me. But I see through the eyes, so eyes are me. But comes under the experience, seen, visible. It is not, it cannot be I am. That I am is behind my eyes, behind my ears. My mind says pain in the body alarms me. But then the mind says, I have a pain. I enter into the false. I told you, whatever is experienced, seen, felt until now belongs to the false. Now, today is a pain, tomorrow is gone. What is seen, known is taken as I am. That is false. It creates an ignorance, then it creates the fear that I will die. The old age never seems to, and it is taken up by the death. What is seen is limited. Let us examine that. What is seen is limited. I am here. I'm located here in my house, you're located there, so I'm limited. How I'm limited? By the name and the shape. I'm also limited by the time. Do you see? I'm limited by the time. One guy enters into the temporary eternity. Very good. So the shape is limited. So it is, what is limited is changing, it is created. Just I have to remain aware. What is hearing? Shape, created, limited. And what is limited will die one day. Like the waves merge. Time limits this body. Can you reflect on this? Time limits the body is not me. That limitation is not me, but the knower of that limitation is me. Mind is not me, subjected by the time, so it is changing. Do you see that? I know, I experience, I have memories of everything subjected by the time in the shape. Anything I experience, give me any experience which is not subjected by the time and the space. Give me any experience. Well, we just remember, don't forget, what is seen, known, experienced is the false. Why it is false? It comes in between the absolute truth and the untruth. I cannot say that it is unreal because I experience it. I cannot say it is absolute because it is constantly changing. So untruth is okay, I have to filter out, drop all the untruth, and I have to find that absolute in the very false. False will continue to exist. I was born, I was child, now young age, crazy, and now the old age. Uh, in US, even people are 80 years old, they don't want to, they hate to say that I'm old. Sometimes what happens, my honey, she has the Indian roots, I have the Indian root. So whosoever is 10, 15, 20 years older to me, we refer to as a aunt or uncle. And in US they say, oh, why you are saying me uncle? I'm still young. So here the etiquette is totally different. I have learned it, she has yet to learn. I have to find that real in the very presence of the false, like the earring, the nose ring, necklace. The gold is very much present there. The gold is very much present in everything. That which is everything is the real self, is the pure consciousness. So I continue to say, here is Dennis and Samir and Ashok and Terry, David and the Jerry. Can I see the real self or that consciousness? And if we see it, and if we see it, so that seeing is a perception, that seeing is awareness, that awareness is the very consciousness which is infinite, which is eternal, which is all pervading. So, listening and learning is the first step. So, I remind you, but contemplation and reflection, followed by obviously the practice until the practice merges into an understanding, and then the practice is also left. So, our master says, beautiful. Master says, what the master says. So I listen and learn, and still I don't realize that I am the real self. What a surprise! I don't see the gold in all the different pieces of jewelries. I don't see the water in all the waves. I don't see the space in all the homes. What is preventing me is the false, is the ignorance, is the impurity of the mind. What is ignorance? I'm summarizing everything by different examples. When I woke up in the morning and I said, no, let me take up this instead of the verses, so that once we study those verses, it becomes easy. So I gave an example of a necklace, earring, and nose pin. Now, what is the problem? What is ignorance? By another metaphor, the necklace of a gold is asking, can you show me the gold? Did you understand? I have created a false I. Show me where is the real self. Can you prove it? So necklace of the gold is asking, can you show me where is the gold? Show me. You gave a good lecture, I understand, but now prove it. That is the problem. That is what we say the ignorance is. Can you show me the gold? You have heard, you have heard, you have listened to this talk rightly. That is why you are asking this question. But at the same time, but what is surprise? People say, Master knows it that you are the gold. And if I say you are the gold, then the journey of ignorance starts. That is why we have to follow these teachings step by step. You see, that is why the Buddha says self remembering is meditation. Self remembering. Hold on, you have asked this question. Can you show me the gold? Master says, you are the gold. Can you drop your identity with subjected by the time, space, color, etc., whatever you have experienced is the part of the creation. You are looking for what is uncreated. Can you simply drop everything? That is the objectless state of the mind. What is the objectless state of the mind? Patanjali says it is the meditation. So I need to fight and struggle with all the thoughts. There again, you are crazy. Why you have to fight? Do we have to fight with the waves to know that the essence is the water? This master says you remember and you do not know the real self. What kind of remembering it is? That remembering is understanding. As if the gold necklace sits for meditation to find where is the gold. Do you understand? I'm just giving a good example for you to understand. I had a good meditation, but the body, I have experienced lot of challenges in the body. This is what you are asking me. Do you see that? If I sit in meditation to find the real self, who is remembering, doing meditation, where is the real self? Who is behind, who is practicing meditation? Necklace. God is doing the meditation to find where is the God. So the false I false I, which is made up of the body, breath, mind, intellect, and ego, dependent on the real self, the earring, the nose ring, dependent on the gold, body, breath, mind, intellect, and the ego, and my question coming from the mind, dependent on the real self, the consciousness. What I have to do, I have to leave identification with the body, breath, mind, include body, breath, brain, mind, intellect, and ego. So I am the real self. That much is done. So this is what is explained by our master by defining what exactly is the existence. It is the same real self. What is consciousness? It is the same real self. What is that nature of the bliss or the permanent happiness? Is it is the same real self that we are going to understand in our next session. Just see that. So that is how he explains. We are not talking of any mantra, we are not talking of any practice, we are not talking of any ritual. No, no ritual is done. Sometimes people say, even in states that yoga is a religion. Oh, where is? Did I talk anything of the religion? No, not at all. Our masters were really great, the way they thought of it. I didn't talk of any religion, ritual, culture, cult, dogma, belief, nothing. A simple process of understanding. What is that understanding? The false, the real, and the unreal. Unreal untruth. Obviously, we know the untruth does not exist. Even if the mind creates an imagination, elephant is flying in the sky, I say I reject it. Mind simply rejects. Water is made up of fire. I simply reject. But that I am engaged in the false, which comes in between that. And that uncreated, that unreal is hidden behind it. But to say it is hidden is also not real. I say the gold ring. I have already recognized the gold, but my focus is on the ring of the name in the form. I recognized you as a Danish, but my focus is on the name in the form. Do you see? My focus is on the David as a person. The moment I say person, individuality subjected by the time and the space, there I miss it. I miss the real self. I miss the real self. Close your eyes. I normally say it is a non practice. So close your eyes. Eyes are changing. It is a creation. It is false because changing. Behind that change, there is an awareness, or simply you can say consciousness, or you can say I am, because I recognize Why? Because the eyes, I recognize the closed eyes, I recognize the eyes for perception of the objects and people, of name and the form. Do you see that clearly? We are understanding, we are simply understanding the false, the real, and the unreal. So when I say I recognize, I experience, I know, I perceive through the eyes, are all my experiences in the field of creation. In the field of in creation, I am still unable to see what is uncreated. That is the first thing. And the second thing, naturally, because of ignorance, I take it for granted. I see you, hence it is my eyes and it is me. So the known and the seen are taken as the knower. Experience becomes the experiencer. Known becomes the knower. I'm making it very simple today. Knower. Seen becomes the seer. And then the seer, knower, experiencer appears hiding behind the the word of known, word of seen, which is body, breath, mind, intellect, ego, and long list. Or maybe old, young, sleeper, waker, dreamer, or you can add all your experiences. I'm talking the same thing which I discussed just now, just for the sake of a practice, or which you can say no. After listening and learning, we are contemplating and reflecting for understanding. Again, understand what is this? It is aware. Understanding is awareness, it is knowledge. And if it is awareness and knowledge, then it is consciousness. And if, then who is understanding? I am. I am. Oh, be alert and aware. Be alert and aware. This I am is not identifying with the body, breath, brain, mind, intellect, ego, thoughts, feelings, sensations, thought, feelings, and sensations, etc. So, what happens? What is left? What is left? I am as a consciousness. I am is a pure consciousness. Why it is pure? Again, you have to be very vigilant. Why it is pure consciousness? It is not identifying with any name, form, change, time, location, pain, pleasure, attachment, detachment, etc., etc. It's a long list. We already know that we have already experienced. So now see that now I have reached I am without name in the form. What is this? What is this? What you're talking about? Is it objectless state? Yes, Patanjali says the same thing. All masters have to sing the same tune. There is nothing, they cannot go beyond that. And then the Buddha says, self remembering, do I remember what? I am good even whilst knowing earring. I'm just giving earring, nose pin, and the necklace. What it means? For example, mind continues to say, I am, for example, I am Janice. So I say, okay. So I say, okay. And then at the same time, the knower helps me to recognize what it recognizes. To recognize Dennis's name, it has a form, it has a shape, it has an age. It is also waking, sleeping, and dreaming, and it is long list of all experiences falls under the false I. Oh, that why? Because that is all nutshell of experiences. Who is the experiences? Who is the knower? I am. Here we need an awareness. Awareness means don't miss to see. Again, I'm using the metaphor gold in the earring, gold in the nose pin, gold in the necklace. What happens then? When I drop identification with so called my body, breath, brain, mind, intellect, ego, I naturally drop the identification with the entire name in the form in the world outside. Then what? Then what? I see one consciousness pervading. At the same time, I still recognize who is Janice, who is David, who is Jerry. Yes, I still recognize. I still recognize the false or appearance or changing while I am that real self, that pure consciousness is the judge. Once you recognize the gold in the necklace, do you forget it? You know where I'm going. I need not to say. Once I recognize the gold in the necklace, do I forget? I don't need to explain it further than why I forget. Our master says ignorance, impurity, projection, you stick to the false, you find a security in the false, not understanding as such. There is no in security in anything. What is anything? That is changing, that is created, that is creation. Do you still remember the 360-degree understanding? We started with same thing and we have reached to the same thing. But why such a long 360-degree turn? Because of ignorance, because of false. Do I need to say anything? What is being said is also limited. I have an extraordinary awareness. Whatever is heard through the ears is also limited. It is the part of the changing and the creation. So now your mind says, shut up, teacher, let me enjoy that state. So, shut up, teacher is definitely means that I don't need any instruction, I'm already there, but it does not mean that you are not experiencing, knowing the temperature, the body, and you may have vision. And all these experiences continues like the waves in an ocean. No, what do you mean? Then what is the difference? Difference is so simple. In ignorance, I know I am the body, mind, breath, intellect, and ego. In awakening, I also know that I am the consciousness. It is so simple, yes. It is simple as that. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Again, you hear the Shanti, but you say, I'm Shanti. Why you are saying this? Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand. Even you need not to do that. Just you are into that state. Open your eyes slowly. Open your eyes slowly. Ashok sir will not open her eyes. Okay. Dennis, how are you?
Thank you. I'm fine. I will summarize today's lesson as that this journey is all about shifting the focus away from the name and the form. But I also have a question that popped up in my mind during the meditation. You said that when we die, we merge into the infinite, and when that happens without understanding that we are the infinite, then this is the sad part.
Yes, that is the
Well, so I asked myself, who exactly understands that I am infinite? And I answered that this is the mind who understands.
Definitely.
So when the mind understands, really understands and experiences that I am the infinite, we call this awakening, right?
Yes. Now the mind has understood, then what happens? The mind has already dropped the entire level of ignorance. Then what is left? That is my experience of awakening. So it is beyond the mind. I have removed the curtain.
Yes, but when the mind is awakened, and this awakened mind is dead, dies, what happens to the awakening of this mind?
Yes, please tell me what happens to the moonlight. When the sun says enough is enough, then the self is settled in the self. That is what Patanjali says in the very beginning of the first chapter. First, he says yoga is a discipline from A to Z. Second, then what is yoga? Yoga is the emptiness of the mind. What is the third sutra? Tata drishtu swarupe avasthanam. The self is established in the self. Mind has no role to play here. The self knows the self.
But then, due to past impressions and the karma, new body and the mind is born, and all starts again with the same ignorance, with the same desire to awaken.
Yes, that's a very typical and a very higher question. So the Buddha, when he was awakened, he said, I will continue to take millions of births until every human being is awakened. What it means? Once you are awakened, you are always awakened in every birth because you willed it, so you can take the birth in the state of awakening. but we take the birth in the state of ignorance. That is possible. So there the concept and there the principle of reincarnation of Krishna, Rama, and lot of other objects, lot of other people come. Vivekananda was a great master. So when Sri Aurobindo once said that I am the Vivekananda now, I'm not. Vivekananda was there in the 18th century. I'm in the 19th century Vivekananda. So I have to take his work at the next level.
So there must be something between this body and the mind and the real self that carries that
Yes,
personality.
yes, that is also there. That is also there. How the waves are created by an ocean. So physically, scientifically, no, we know it is a wind or it is some pressure. What is that wind? That is the intention, that is the resolve of these awakened people, that they move out of the humility and the compassion that they have to continue, take the birth in order to pass on this wisdom. But yes, we will also go deeper. The way I went deeper into this aspect, we will go deeper. Everything is explained by this master logical. That is the beauty. Beautiful. We have any more question, Dennis? Very good. Yes, a beautiful. Yes, we need that. How are you, David and Jerry?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dennis. That was I really enjoyed your sharing there. The work, my focus the entire time was what's not created,
Yeah.
and that leaves a very sort of pondering place to be in, and it's just it's fascinating. So my meditation was deep and subtle. Thank you.
You see that it's a beautiful way to see it. I am speaking, so I'm creating something, but I have to see is I am I creating anything, or is it only the body, mind, intellect, and the I thought is speaking? Can I live into that awareness? It is so simple and yet it is very challenging. That is why I gave a simile. The necklace is asking, let me know where is the gold. So one is uncreated and others are all belongs to that creation. So the master gives a different name. One says the world is suffering. Depending on the level of emotional temperament of a seeker. So here this master goes straight. He says, no, you all are seekers. Yes, Jerry, how are you?
Sir, I'm good, thank you. I feel like it's not the mind that knows. Yes, we inspire the mind, or the mind gets inspired, but the knowledge is much deeper than that, and the understanding, and that knowledge is what inspires our intellect, and there's a conviction in that, and somehow we come to that, to know it, to say that we know it as human beings, and then we see how that emulates in our life, and then we know, and then that's our proof, because we're living it.
Yes.
We're thinking.
Yes, Jerry, you are touching a very good point, and our master teachings of this master also elaborates on that. And let me summarize in a totally different way. The consciousness is all knowing. Why it is all pervading? It knows everything. That is how we define the God, omniscient, omnipresent, etc., etc. Now, if I know, for example, Dennis very well, and you come to me and you say, "Do you know Dennis?" I say yes, and it is finished. Why I made that statement? The knowledge enters into the intellect and the mind from that consciousness only. It is only the moonlight. Only the mind does not know that I am the real self, so I have to get rid of that ignorance. But still, the knowledge is coming from the same consciousness, from the same real self. So, that puzzle the ignorant mind cannot solve, and that is what is solved by the teachings of this Eastern wisdom. Are you getting it, Dennis? That is also solved. How are you, Sami?
Sir, knowledge is happening to me very slowly. And what I used to, the things I was confused about 6 months back are clear to me. And more 6 months back, I was more confused about some things. Now they are becoming slowly, they are becoming very clear. And just by listening and doing meditations, these things are opening for me slowly, and they automatically come in my mind that this is the solution of this thing.
Beautiful. You see, this topic is discussed in detail by the master. What is this topic? There is a gradual process of rise in consciousness. At the same time, it is dropping of ignorance. We see the dawn in the dusk. Dawn. Now the sunrise, full sunrise, but before that. So there is a gradual process. But again, the question comes from where the knowledge enters. 6 months ago, I was ignorant, and now the same mind has revealed the knowledge. It means that real self is all pervading, all knowing. Knowledge is already inside us. Knowledge is already inside us. Do you see that? That topic is understood so each and every step. He opens up the entire Pandora box of the mind and the intellect and the I-ness, and he says, "Do you know this? This is I. This is mind. This is intellect. This is your thought." So the knowledge revealed. That is why we say revelation. In all religious tradition also we say it is because the knowledge is already there. It is revealed. It is not procured. It is not produced. It is not created. That is why every master teaches the same thing in a different way. How are you, Terry?
I think a wordless knowing.
Yes.
That is why we try to meditate, to experience it rather than to know it in our mind in words.
Yes.
But I found the lecture delightful,
Yeah.
I felt it made me feel happy.
Very good. I saw your smile in the very beginning.
Yes, and also sometimes like what Dennis said and what Jerry said and what David said and what Samir said. Sometimes they articulate my question for me.
Yes, yes.
So I don't have a question, really.
Yes, yes. We should have a mind of a seeker. I was a crazy guy. I told you, I was average intelligence and still I am crazy. I don't have that level of super, IQ, which gives you the admission in Ivy colleges. No. But you guys are more intelligent. If I can understand it, why you can't you? So which pushes me, which inspires me, which motivates me to express this wisdom which I have received from many masters. Beautiful sharing. How are you, Ashok?
Sir, namaste.
Namaste, sir.
Sir, thank you so much, sir. Nothing to ask. Thank you.
Nothing. Thank you. So just think and contemplate, live. I told you difference between listening and learning and understanding. Understanding comes by contemplation and reflection. We should ask our question. Who is asking the question? The mind plus the I-ness, you can say. And who is resolving the doubt? The mind. Curtain is there. I have this curtain. What I have to remove? The curtain. I have not to remove the sun. Be very clear. So the ignorant mind, falsehood in the mind, has to be removed. And the moment you remove it, that is why the Terry has a smile, because it reveals you, oh, this is it. I'm happy now. My anxiety is gone. My reactions are gone. That is all for today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Namaste, everyone.
Namaste, everyone.
Namaste.
Namaste.